The room fell silent as the council chamber's massive door slid open, revealing a lone figure standing at the threshold. Across the galaxy, representatives from every major species were watching, their eyes locked on the central screen. It was a moment of unparalleled tension, an unprecedented event in galactic diplomacy. A human emissary, cloaked in tattered armor and battle-worn metal, stepped forward. The message on the screen flashed in bold letters, the Scrapheap Miracle. The word sent shockwaves through the room. The alien dignitaries, accustomed to the arrogance of the gods, had scoffed at humanity's existence for centuries. But this was different. The human diplomat spoke, their voice calm, but undercut with a subtle threat. We didn't ask for your help, but now that we've learned to use what you discarded, you'll have to reckon with us. The screen behind them flickered, revealing images of the most unlikely of victories. Salvaged space junk turned into cutting-edge weapons, broken fleets repurposed into unstoppable war machines, ancient, forgotten god tech now under human control. Each victory was more absurd than the last, yet each one was real. The council representatives exchanged uneasy glances, but none dared speak. They had underestimated humanity, assuming that the ashes of their civilization could never rise again. Now, it seemed, the humans were the ones holding the cards, and the galaxy was about to learn the consequences of their mistake. It wasn't just a miracle. It was a revolution. The galaxy had long been divided, its vast expanse governed by the will of the gods and their powerful allies. For millennia, they had dictated the flow of civilizations, their immortality and divine technology unrivaled. Humanity, once a fledgling species, was all but forgotten, a scattered remnant, its homeworld destroyed, its cities reduced to rubble. The gods had discarded Earth's remains as little more than cosmic trash, a planet too insignificant to care for. But as the gods' empire grew, so too did humanity's resilience. Left with nothing but scraps, the remnants of old war machines, and the detritus of forgotten technologies, humans began to rebuild, not with divine gifts or advanced science, but with sheer ingenuity. The scavenged junk became the foundation of their resurgence. In the shadows of the gods' forgotten territories, human factions forged weapons from the very things the gods had abandoned. Now, humanity had come to the attention of the galaxy. No longer weak, no longer fractured, the humans were becoming a force to be reckoned with. Their so-called Scrapheap miracles, improvised, seemingly crude devices of incredible power, were challenging the gods' dominance. The stakes were clear. Either the gods would crush this rebellion before it spread or risk facing a new empire forged from the very refuse they had once discarded. It started with the moon of Arcturus, a forgotten world once used by the gods as a testing ground for their weapons. The humans, scavenging in the remnants of the planet's ruins, stumbled upon an ancient god-tech facility, one that was believed to be inactive, its purpose lost to time. At first, they had no idea what they had discovered, a mere scrap heap of disassembled machines and half-melted technology. But as the humans began to tinker, something extraordinary happened. The parts they had recovered began to fit together in ways that no one anticipated. A decommissioned energy core powered up, an array of weapons reactivated, and the humans found themselves holding a powerful force they had no right to possess. The gods, watching from afar, had no idea that their forgotten trash was being transformed into a weapon capable of challenging their reign. The first skirmish was swift and devastating. A group of human fighters, armed with these repurposed technologies, launched an ambush on a fleet of god-controlled ships. What followed was nothing short of miraculous. The humans didn't just fight back, they decimated their foes. The gods were furious. What had started as a small rebellion now became a serious threat. The stakes had escalated, and the galaxy realized that humanity had a power unlike any other, the ability to turn nothing into everything. Event 1. The Ruins of Xenon 9. Xenon 9, a barren world, was a former stronghold of the gods' elite, an abandoned base, stripped of any valuable resources. The galaxy had long written it off as a dead world. But humanity saw potential in the remains. A small band of human scavengers set down on the planet, seeking only to salvage what was left behind. What they didn't know was that the base still held a dormant piece of technology, an ancient cannon capable of unleashing catastrophic energy. The humans, without fully understanding the weapon's capabilities, modified it, adapting it for their own use. What was intended as a simple weapons upgrade turned into an unintentional launch of destruction. The cannon fired, not just on Xenon 9, but at an approaching fleet of God-controlled ships. The result was a chain reaction. The blast incapacitated the fleet, disabling half of its forces in an instant. A small human faction, with no intention of engaging in a large-scale war, had just struck a devastating blow against the gods' power. The gods' wrath was swift, yet the humans' victory was undeniable. The galaxy watched, stunned. Humanity had accidentally triggered an irreversible shift. No longer confined to the shadows, they had drawn first blood in a war no one saw coming. The gods, initially dismissive of humanity's rise, quickly realized they needed to act. Their first strategy was brute force, overwhelming military campaigns to squash the growing human threat. But their arrogance blinded them to the unpredictable nature of human ingenuity. When they sent fleets to wipe out human colonies, the humans responded by using their own discarded technology, old weapons, abandoned ships, and scavenged god tech to ambush their attackers. Every attempt at a direct confrontation failed. The humans used the element of surprise, turning their enemies' own weapons against them with devastating efficiency. Next, the Venari Confederacy, an alliance of insectoid species, attempted to use diplomacy to sideline humanity. Their strategy was simple: offer alliances to every species except humans, isolate them in galactic discussions, and undermine their credibility. The Venari believed that the humans, starved for recognition, would capitulate in exchange for acceptance. However, humans turned this strategy into an opportunity, outsmarting the Confederacy by exposing their internal corruption and leveraging the isolated species against each other. What was meant to be a diplomatic snub became the foundation of a new network of human allies. Finally, the Xyloc Alliance, known for their mind control technology, attempted to subdue humanity through mental manipulation. But humans, ever resourceful, quickly adapted by using a forgotten god tech device to shield their minds. The Xyloc failed, and once again, humanity had turned an enemy's advantage into their own. The galaxy was learning a simple truth: humanity could not be controlled. When humans say, "We seek peaceful coexistence," they don't mean it in the way other species do. Their tone is calm, measured, even warm. But beneath it lies a hidden agenda. Every word is calculated, a carefully crafted veil over the precision of their plans. They approach diplomacy as a chess game, one where the ultimate goal is not simply survival but advantage. Every word, every gesture is part of a larger scheme that others often fail to notice until it's too late. Humans are masters of feigned humility. They understand the importance of appearing non-threatening, often lowering expectations to lull their counterparts into a false sense of security. What others see as submission, humans see as opportunity, an opening to exploit, an angle to twist in their favor. They don't fight fair, and they don't negotiate just to reach a compromise. They negotiate to win. In meetings, humans listen intently, but their minds are never idle. While an alien diplomat drones on about peace and cooperation, a human negotiator is already evaluating every possible loophole, every gap in the other side's argument. It's not deception, it's survival. And in a universe where the gods have ruled for millennia, that means humanity will always find a way to turn the tables, no matter how insignificant they seem. The galaxy's response to humanity's rise has been a mixture of fear, confusion, and desperation. Initially, many species underestimated the human threat, dismissing them as a disorganized band of scavengers. But as the Scrapheap Miracles continued to unfold, that illusion quickly shattered. The Xyloc Collective, known for their immense technological prowess, initially launched a campaign of military intimidation. They sent fleets to eradicate the human colonies, convinced that their superior firepower would crush the uprising. But the humans turned the Xylocs' own discarded war machines into a formidable force, ambushing and outsmarting their fleets at every turn. The Xyloc, furious at their failure, quickly shifted to covert tactics, attempting to infiltrate human territories using subterfuge. However, humanity had already anticipated this move, setting up intricate countermeasures and surveillance systems, turning the Xylocs' attempts at espionage into laughable failures. Meanwhile, the Venari Confederacy, a race of insectoid diplomats, took a different approach: appeasement. In an attempt to buy time, they offered the humans resources and technologies in exchange for peace, believing that humans were simply desperate for recognition. But the humans, ever resourceful, saw this as an opportunity to gain access to even more god tech. They accepted the deals while secretly exploiting the information and technologies provided by the Confederacy. The Aeonian monarchy, a race of near-mortal beings, tried to isolate humanity diplomatically, imposing sanctions and excluding them from galactic councils. But the humans, turning the monarchy's own ancient technology against them, circumvented the sanctions and forged their own alliances, rendering the monarchy's strategy useless. The galaxy was learning quickly. Humanity couldn't be underestimated, and every response to their growing power seemed to backfire in unexpected ways. It all came to a head during the Intergalactic Summit of Ethros, a gathering intended to discuss peace between the gods' allies and the remaining free species of the galaxy. The human delegation, led by an enigmatic diplomat known only as the Scavenger, arrived under the guise of cooperation. What they brought, however, was far from a simple peace offering. In the Grand Hall, filled with dignitaries from every corner of the galaxy, the humans unveiled their gift to the summit, a small, seemingly inconsequential device they called the Junk Heart. At first, it looked like nothing more than a tangle of metal and wire, a pile of discarded scrap. The dignitaries laughed, assuming it was some form of human humor. But as the device powered on, the laughter died. The Junk Heart emitted a wave of energy that instantly disabled all forms of communication, rendering every alien species technology, once thought indestructible, useless. The summit froze in stunned silence. Humans had taken the very refuse the gods discarded, and with it, created a weapon that short-circuited every technology in the room, rendering the gods' allies powerless. In that moment, humanity did not just win a diplomatic battle. They revealed a harsh truth to the galaxy. With nothing but scraps, they had just reshaped the balance of power forever. The galaxy was theirs to shape. The galaxy had always believed that power lay in the hands of the gods and their eternal allies, immortal, unyielding, and invincible. But the rise of humanity, born from the ashes of their discarded trash, had shattered that illusion. The Scrapheap Miracle was not just a rebellion, it was a reckoning, a testament to the fact that even the most broken pieces could be reforged into something unstoppable. The gods had cast humanity aside, assuming they were nothing more than the remnants of a failed civilization. But the humans had taken their scraps and built a revolution. As the Junk Heart disabled the galaxy's most sophisticated technologies and humanity stood victorious at the summit, the message was clear: underestimate us, and you will regret it. For the gods, the lesson was brutal. Their invincibility had been an illusion, and they had let their pride blind them to the resourcefulness of a species they thought they had already extinguished. For the galaxy, the warning was simple. Humanity was not just a force to be reckoned with. It was a force of survival, driven by innovation born from desperation. No one was safe from their ingenuity, and no alliance was immune from their subtle diplomacy. The galaxy might have survived their diplomacy, but now it had to ask itself, can you outsmart a species that thrives on the scraps of others? Can you survive a force that turns the discarded into the most powerful weapon in the universe? The real question is, will you be ready when they come for your trash?